Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. Today in our program, Positive Atheism by Gora, I am going to continue the new topic, Atheistic technology, from where I have left in the last episode. Atheistic technology adopts decentralization. Instead of a few big machines, it uses only small machines. Of course, operations like mining, metallurgy, and heavy industries stand on a different footing. The produce of each small machine is sufficient for the growing needs and comforts of an individual or of a small group of individuals. Small machines promote individual self-sufficiency, at least insofar as the basic needs of the life are concerned, like food, comfortable shelter, clothes, health, education, and recreation. The division of labor in which certain skills are monopolized by certain groups of people is avoided. On the contrary, atheistic technology will demonstrate that individual can develop any skill. The possibility of the independence of the individual is the basis of cooperation. Otherwise, dependence not only in the case of the ownership of the means of production, but in skillfulness also give opportunity for exploitation. Thus, the atheistic technology of self-sufficiency, which preserves the freedom of the individual, avoids unemployment and exploitation. It replaces benevolent capitalism and dictatorial socialism with democratic cooperation. The use of big machine in a socialist state ensures equal distribution of economic goods. But in such a system, there is diverse between the machinery of production, namely the big industry, and the machinery of distribution, namely the state authority. The separation of the functions requires dictatorial authority for the distributing agency, namely the government. With this authority, the government of a socialist state not only directs but controls the production in order to distribute it equally among the people. Even when the government owns the factories, the functions of production and distribution remains separate. When the functions are separate, it is possible for the dominant function to make the other subordinate to it. But the atheistic method of decentralization contains the distribution within the method of production itself, that is, each one produces unto himself what he needs. But this is an extreme case of self-sufficiency and the freedom of the individual. Ordinarily, man is social, and a social group can be trusted with some amount of division of labor. A few can produce for others who may be engaged in such avocations as education and health services, which are not strictly productive labor from economic point of view. But such a division of labor will not lead to dictatorship if it is confined to the limits of personal association among the members. In other words, socialization up to the basal units in a system of decentralized quality is not harmful and is desirable too. Such a socialized administration, which is under personal knowledge and direct control of all the members of the basal unit, is distinctly different from the socialist dictatorship of the centralized administration, which is removed far out of personal touch of the citizen. Economic equality is, of course, the same both in the case of a socialist dictatorship and of a decentralized participatory democracy. But the difference between the two is that the former entails dictatorship which curbs the freedom of the individual, whereas the latter gives scope for freedom of the individual along with economic equality. Further, technology deals with tools and test tubes which, like the files or papers of bureaucratic administration, are essentially non-human. Unless the tools and files are kept small and under effective control, they impersonalize the modes of working and tend to make social relations dry and cold instead of keeping them sensitive and loving. The labor strikes and managerial lockouts and are characteristic of big factories and industrial combines in capitalistic economy betray the callousness with which the interests of the labor are treated. Also, the production of nuclear weapons and the pollution of air and water with effluxes from factories and with sewage from cities totally disregard the security and safety of fellow men. The indecent haste with which inorganic fertilizers are used to increase food production with a view to gain profit pay little attention to the health of consumers. The rapid depletion of mineral wealth and of coal and oil resources of the earth gives little thought to the needs of the generations to come. These evils are avoided by decentralized technology. Man-to-man relations can be preserved only in small-scale industry. Moreover, decentralized technology and handicraft do not diminish the quantity of production. Just as 1,000 candles together burn 10 times brighter than a 100-watt electric bulb, many small machines produce far more than a few big ones can. Decentralization and handicrafts do not mean diminution of the articles of comforts that man desires. It only means equal distribution of the comforts among all the people. The comforts can increase limitlessly provided each increase is available to all people. Atheistic technology is made possible by atheistic awakening. When people feel free and equal, they cannot suffer the immoral distinction between the rich and the poor, between the master and the servant, between the skilled and the unskilled, between the Brahmin and the Sudra. All men are alike in structure and talent. Geniuses are as rare as morons, and their occurrence does not affect the normal course of social relations. Atheistic awakening removes the sense of inferiority that the theistic faith created in the mass of people and rouses them into equal activity and gives them equal facility for the expression of talents and tastes. And here ends our topic, atheistic technology, and we shall meet with another topic in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to our Positive Atheism English channel presented by Samaram channel, which has 21 crore views. Please like, subscribe and share our videos, and for notification of our new videos, please click the bell icon.